Chapter is an extract from the autobiography of Nelson Mandela, born July 18, 1918, the first black president of South Africa. Excerpts from Long Walk to Freedom include a description of the inauguration ceremony, citations from his speech, his journey to being a freedom fighter, the struggle, along with a tribute to other freedom fighters and countless other people who fought for their freedom. In South Africa, a brutal practice named apartheid was followed. Apartheid refers to discrimination between people on the basis of their race. It was one of the most brutal societies where dark-skinned people were deprived of their basic rights. This lesson gives us an overview as to how Nelson Mandela, along with others, carved their way to a society where there will be no discrimination on the basis of their color, caste, race, age, or gender. The struggle for independence, equality, and justice is the subject of Nelson Mandela, Long Walk to Freedom. It emphasizes his 27-year incarceration for his political involvement, his eventual release, and his contribution to the nation's transformation into a multiracial democracy after his release. Mandela's steadfast dedication to the struggle for freedom, equality, and justice is clear throughout this chapter. Despite the personal sacrifices he must make, he is committed to bringing about change and creating a more just society for everyone in South Africa. He also stresses the value of nonviolence and peacemaking in achieving these objectives. It begins with the description of their inaugural ceremony, which took place on the 10th of May 1994, where the entire nation along with many international leaders embraced the victory of a newly and fairly elected government. It involved speeches by the president and the two deputy presidents, followed by an impressive air show of fighter jets and helicopters. Long ago, in the first decade of the 20th century, white supremacy introduced the system of apartheid and made life a living hell for the dark-skinned population. It gave rise to one of the most inhumane societies of the world. Many people have struggled and sacrificed for basic human rights. The author expressed his desire to thank all those freedom fighters who couldn't live to see this autumn day. He referred to the citizens as the greatest asset of the country. It is these people he gathered his courage from. Mandela believes that courageous is not the man who is fearless, but the man who has overcome fear. He also mentioned the two responsibilities every human has and how, in order to fulfill his obligation towards the society, his obligation towards his family was neglected. He became a man of people when he realized that the idea of freedom was an illusion for him and people like him. It was then he joined the African National Congress and fought for his rights till he became the first black president of the nation. According to him, the oppressor is as much a prisoner as the oppressed. As soon as the former robs the oppressed of their freedom, he himself gets robbed of his humanity. Thus, the oppressor too is not free.